Hello everybody, this is Swarmlord39 of Almost Cool here with another episode of Danganronpa V3. There we go.
Well now.
So we're going to go ahead and finish up this class trial. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty sure the killer is obvious at this point.
It's okay. Hey, Daddy!
Oh my gosh.
All right!
Oh, wow. Anywho, let's go ahead and get this class trial finished. Just because...
Logic does not compute.
Did you?
No?
You know what else is scary? So round.
That doesn't sound scary.
I'm scared too. Scared of losing my friends.
Did you?
No. What?
Oh jeez. So who's the mono kid that's going to die this time?
Answer us, Himiko. You chose the middle.
He's totally
road
the
to lure
killer.
us into your trap, did you not? Then you used that trap to kill Tenko, yes?
Well, donkey lips, did you?
Wait. Must be.
There isn't.
Then she needs to defend her.
I don't care if you gotta use magic to do it, but say something already.
Oh boy.
Are you even listening? No. I don't. Angie died, and now I just.
Himiko.
Alright, hold on, just... Yes. Okay.
Do whatever. If you want to vote for me.
The game gets really blah if the suspect isn't it.
That's not the problem.
Damn it. Don't.
Himiko, don't give.
Don't you understand? Just shut up. It's all just.
What are you talking about?
You needn't worry. Himiko was the one who chose that room.
Impossible! Himiko not that kind of person. Gonta can tell by Himiko's face.
Himiko's a little slow. I also think Himiko's not.
Either way, we gotta look for more
No, is not. So no give up.
Okay, so is this... Bloody Kokichi.
Performing
Pretty-
the seance in that room was Himiko's decision, was it not?
What if someone steered her into picking that room?
Of the 3 empty rooms, why did you select the middle one? Because you laid your trap there.
Oh jeez.
Was trap only in that room? Other rooms may be trapped.
That was it.
I agree.
It's just like Gonta said. Each room was the same. They were all trapped.
What? Is that true?
Kokichi will tell you.
Kokichi.
He was way too careless. Wait, what are you talking about?
While you were in the room next to the crime scene, you found a loose floorboard, right?
Well, I didn't find it so much as I stepped through it and tripped.
What? Hold on. There was also a loose floorboard in the next room?
So the culprit prepared a trap in all 3 empty rooms, not just the middle one.
If the culprit set traps in all the rooms, then they wouldn't need to select a room themselves.
So the real trap was for someone else to pick a room and take the blame.
Yep.
see. We were caught in the culprit's trap
Smooth. Took
all
you a
along.
full. It took you a second to actually try to shift the blame away from you again.
Especially you!
But now there's no reason to suspect Himiko, right?
Himiko. Live life facing forward. She said that to you, right? If you give up on living, you'd be betraying her memory. We're all trying to keep our promises to the dead. This trial, it's not just for our lives. It's for everyone who's died as well. That's why we can't give up. This is our responsibility. We live on.
You're right. Yeah, that's right. If I gave up here, I wouldn't be able to face Angie or Tenko.
That's right. So let's do our best.
In this particular case, I'd say Tenko over Angie, because Angie was jerk, but it mildly.
Alright, I'm not gonna say it's a pain anymore. I won't give up. I'll fight alongside everyone and survive.
Okay, you're starting to earn points with me again.
Do
If you
not
keep
say
this up.
everyone. After all, the blood.
Jeez, there you go. But damn, well said, Shuichi.
You're sold, bro?
Well, anyway, do you think the Blackened this time has some sort of superpower?
No.
What are you talking about?
Well, as a self-proclaimed expert of isn't it weird that no one stepped through that floorboard before the culprit used it?
No.
That is a good point.
It must have been barrier. Well, that's one possibility.
It's
This is it!
Magic Circle.
It's because of the magic circle at the scene of the crime.
Yep.
Before we began the seance, we were warned not to step on the circle. The floorboard in question was within the circle. That's why
Yep.
So the magic circle's purpose was to keep us away from the whole trick.
That was part of the culprit's plans too?
Yay! I get to go and select. Come on, keep moving. Thank you. Let me select it. Thank you.
it has to be you. Kyo, was it you?
Whatever are you talking about?
I'm talking about Tenko's murder.
Kyo?
Yep.
Why do you suspect me?
Because you're the one who made up the whole
Because
thing.
you were the one who drew the magic circle. The circle kept us from discovering the seesaw trick. But that's not all it was for. In order to make the murder succeed, variables like Tenko's position and the placement of the cage needed to be defined. And those variables were defined by using the magic circle. In short, the circle itself was the most important tool in this murder. Knowing that, the person who drew the magic circle has to be the culprit.
Well, Kyo,
Answer already! Did you do it?
Oh boy.
What is so funny?
I was just thinking. So this is how each Blackened must have felt. What an intriguing experience this is.
What? An intriguing experience?
But if I am the culprit as you claim, then I stomped on the floorboard, yes? So, do tell. How could I have stomped on the floorboard during that darkened seance?
I see. That is problem.
Unless that...
How can you be so calm when you're back to...
I will explain that in due time. Please.
Wait a minute. Maybe...
Did you figure it out?
Boost. Touch.
That's it!
Here we go.
The culprit used touch. They didn't see, they felt.
That way they could get around in the dark, like how I got to the candle.
Wasn't Seesaw in middle of room? Gonta doesn't think it was near wall.
So they probably used something besides the wall to move then, right? Were the...
Of course, the answer to that is...
Oh, there was something. There was the magic circle. There we go.
I see now.
It was the magic circle. Magic circle itself was used.
That's it! The magic circle. They used the magic circle. Remember? The magic circle was drawn with salt. The culprit used the salt's texture to feel their way through the dark.
I see. So Kyo traced...
Oh, I see.
Recall the document.
Based on the document, the magic circle wouldn't reach the corners of the room.
Except for it did in our
So
case.
what?
When the room was darkened, the magic circle didn't...
But you're talking about the magic circle in the document. That doesn't mean the circle you drew was the same.
Yep.
No, I most definitely drew it exactly the same. I have it perfect.
So...
Not anymore.
Everyone, may I have your...
Oh,
What a pain.
Excuse me, everyone. May I have your attention, please?
Well, I guess there's no point in discussing
my
the
gosh.
magic circle anymore.
Hey, may I have your attention?
Oh, I said cut that out! It's too bright!
I apologize. I just wanted everyone to listen to me.
About what?
I had Mew add another function to my body.
What the? No way! Did you really? Stop! You can't! I didn't install it for that purpose!
Please, let me use it. With it,
He had a video recording function, and she didn't put it in for this purpose? Oh my.
Alright, so...
It's an image recording function. Specifically, this function allows me to dispense a... I'll give it a try. Ready?
From your mouth?
I've also used magic like that
Oh my
before.
gosh.
This prints out as my memory of being kicked out of the seance. Please confirm that the floor of the empty room is clearly visible. Go on, take the picture and see for yourself.
Okay.
And it's different.
Well, Shuichi?
Can I press it up here?
There!
Yep.
This helped a lot, Kibo. Without... I never would have seen through Kyo's lie.
My lie.
You just said that you drew the magic circle exactly as it appears in the document. But that's a lie, isn't it? The magic circle at the scene had lines that stretched to the room's corners. which
Yep.
means that you would be able to find the floorboard from anywhere in the room.
So it was different from the document after all.
All because Himiko noticed. And because of Kibo, too.
Hey, where's my things? I'm the one who installed that function into Kibo.
Hey, yeah, what was it you
Oh god, are we actually going to go into details?
Oh, to be honest, the purpose of that image recording function is to monitor my health. Specifically, I make Kibo use that. You're what? Why?
Oh my gosh.
Shit is a great indicator of. Plus, taking us. See? You're all gross.
Quit talking about your poop. No one cares.
Thank you.
Kyo, you killed Tenko, didn't you? Just give up and admit it already.
So, Kyo, if you have any objections, you can.
Your deductions are fiction.
Oh, here we go.
Well, since you've given me the option, I will most certainly object. To be honest, it's unimportant, but it may... Now I shall bear witness to your abilities, Shuichi. Do entertain me. If you are going to claim I am the culprit, then what of the murder weapon? It was set up in the cage. The only people capable of that are Kokichi and Shuichi, who carried the cage. So suspicion should fall on them.
True, we could have placed the sickle there, but we could not have removed it later. Because we weren't the ones who lifted the cage. That was Himiko.
The only person who could have collected the sickle is Himiko. But the only people who could have placed the sickle are Kokichi and Shuichi. But in regards to that dilemma, I did not carry the cage, nor did I lift it. I had no opportunity to touch the sickle.
I'll cut through your words!
Yep.
The only person who could have set up the sickle and retrieved it afterward is Kyo. That was done by covering the cage with a white cloth. You could have secretly placed the sickle when you draped the cloth. And retrieved it afterward when you removed the cloth. Then, while everyone was distracted, you discreetly dropped the sickle under the floor.
Wonderful! That's exactly correct.
Oh jeez.
It's correct? Then why don't you give up already?
The trick I put so much work.
So,
Let me guess. You'll never forgive. Maybe you'd feel better if I... But unfortunately for you, that won't happen. Because if you vote for me, every spotless, including myself, will die.
What you talking about, Kyo?
I killed Tenko. That is the truth. But it is meaningless in this class trial.
meaningless?
You mean Monokuma's extra rule, right?
First come, first served.
You see, I killed Tenko, but not Angie.
Oh boy. Did he really?
For us, Tenko's death is nothing but a trivial issue. Because the blackened in this trial is the culprit who killed Angie.
No, that's gotta be a lie.
That is simply not possible.
Oh, only student.
How could I have possibly killed Angie when I...
We can figure that out. If you're the one who killed Tenko, you...
I understand how you feel, Himiko. There is a non-zero possibility that Kyo is telling the truth.
So you understand how she feels.
Of course I understand.
Hey, why are you getting all worked up?
That's enough! It's
Isn't Kyo
Of course I'm not. This case was an error on my part. Monokuma added that rule after both bodies were found, yes?
That's true.
How was I to know that the trial would only be for Angie's killer? Had I known, I certainly wouldn't have killed Tenko.
You're lying! You killed Tenko and Angie!
Now hold on. Jumping to...
We should talk it out more.
Nuts to that! Anyway...
Oh, we're split.
There's sort of no other way to look at it.
No, it's too dangerous to vote before.
Culprit's one of you! Wowee! The Ultimate Academy is proud to present...
Yippee! I've been... What were you waiting for it?
So wait, which side am I on? That he... Well, I'm probably on the side that we need to wait and get all the facts right. Okay. No. There we go. Okay.
Kyo killed Tenko and Angie!
I've got this! Not yet. There's still another mystery to solve.
He forced his way into Angie's research lab and...
I've got this! But he couldn't get into Angie's research lab.
Okay, got that one right.
The katana was found in Kyo's lab.
Kyo! Anyone could have entered my lab.
So Kyo did kill Tenko, but he not black.
Kyo! Not possible. That rule was added after both murders.
He was planning to use the new rule to protect himself all along.
Kyo!
Now it's the
Not
rule.
possible. That rule was added after both murders.
We solved the mystery of Tenko's death.
I've got this! Not yet. There's still another mystery to solve.
Kyo killed Tenko and Angie! Kyo killed Tenko and...
Kibo! We don't know for certain that Kyo killed Angie.
He forced his way into Angie's research lab.
I've got this! But he couldn't get into Angie's research lab.
The katana was...
Kyo! Anyone could have entered my lab.
So Kyo did kill Tenko.
Kokichi! Perhaps there's a second blackened we need to find.
He was planning to...
Kyo! Not possible. That rule was added after both murders.
Okay.
I've got this! Not yet. There's still another mystery to solve.
There we go. Okay.
It would be a mistake to vote before we've completely solved Angie's murder. And there's still the mystery of Tenko's murder.
Mystery? What kind?
Well, Kyo's confession deep, but we still have to go over one of the clues found at Tenko's crime scene. I believe it might even have something to do with Angie's murder.
Is that the dried blood under the floorboard?
This is it!
Yes, it is.
The blood stain found under the floor. Maki and I found it during the investigation. It was beneath the floorboard that the culprit stomped on.
Is that Tenko's blood?
That bloodstain was too far from Tenko's corpse to have been hers.
And it was dried.
The bloodstain
Yep.
was already dry when we found it. But the blood from Tenko's body hadn't even begun to dry yet.
Well, that's weird. Why was that blood stain the only dry one?
Oh no!
Wait, hold on. That's technically true, but it was before the seance.
That's it!
That was
The
That was the part I
bloodstain
needed to say.
wasn't from Tenko's murder. It was there before we started the seance.
Before the seance?
Angie.
That's it! That bloodstain wasn't Tenko's. It was Angie's.
Why was blood from Angie at the scene of Tenko's murder?
Yeah, wasn't Angie killed in her research lab?
Just because we found her body there doesn't mean she was killed there.
Ah, I guess that's possible.
If Angie wasn't killed in her lab, then that opens up a lot more possibilities. We assumed that only council members could have killed Angie since her body was in her lab.
Or you.
But if she died somewhere else, then we can't suspect just the council members anymore.
So the culprit didn't enter her lab, but waited for her to come out of it?
I'm not sure if the culprit waited for her, but they probably killed her when she came out. Well, I thought that was more likely from the start. So I went to places Angie might have gone and checked all 3 empty rooms.
Places she might have gone?
The empty rooms were the only places I could think of that Angie would go.
Did Angie have business in rooms?
I do lie, but I'm pretty sure someone's panicking right now because of my lie.
Even true or not?
The art research lab is not where Angie was killed. She was killed in the empty room instead!
She left her lab on her own?
But why would she go into an empty room?
Hold on, let's just read the Necronomicon. Oh! Because she needed something to
There
burn
shouldn't have been anything in there.
the candles.
Except for candles.
That's it! She wanted a candle! Keep herself awake at night. She would drip hot wax on her body.
Oh,
That sounds like something only you would do, Neil.
well,
The art research lab is not where Angie was killed.
so yeah, I'm gonna say it's the
She
Necronomicon.
was killed in the empty room instead!
She left her lab on her own?
Yeah.
But why would she go into an empty room? There shouldn't have been anything in there.
Except for candles.
That's it! Candle!
Yep.
I agree! That's it! Angie went to that room to get a candle.
Yeah, for kinky.
No. Angie was gonna use it for the ritual. According to the Necronomicon, to resurrect the dead,
Had to burn the Necronomicon.
Then, did she seek out a candle so she could burn the book?
That's right. There's nothing to start a fire with in Angie's lab. So she went to go get a candle from one of the empty rooms.
And that's when the culprit attacked her.
That's why there was dried blood underfloor.
Yep.
Which means Angie was attacked in the same room the seance was held. Bravo, Himiko! Well done for... If we hadn't done the seance in that room, then Tenko's murder would have been in another room. If that happened, no one would have discovered Angie's bloodstain under the floorboards.
That's true.
Shuichi and I only checked under the floorboards where Tenko died.
Yep, it's all thanks to Himiko for choosing... This must be a Tua's whip.
It's neither.
I just picked one.
Hold on. You're all... You claim Angie was murdered in... Then how do you explain the large amount of blood in the lab? It may be possible to carry a body, but blood...
I think she was still alive after the attack in the empty room. She was killed after she was carried to her lab.
That was the Monokuma file. Or is that just her body?
This is it!
Or no, that was just her. That was just the.
The fatal wound was a cut to the back of her neck from the katana. But she also showed signs of blunt force trauma, and I think I know why. After Angie was knocked unconscious in the empty room, she was killed in her lab.
So she was still killed in her
see.
lab.
So that puddle of blood is from the killing blow. Ha! It's all clear now. Angie was attacked in the empty room, carried to her lab, and it was there that the culprit finished her off.
All clear. All clear. What are you?
And you
What are you?
You panicking.
You.
At no point did it
You
actually
what?
did it actually
What?
point at you.
I will not fear. I will not back down.
Well,
Sweet Korekio, calm yourself. Their words are all hollow. There is
What?
no meaning to any of them. You must teach these ignorant children a lesson.
Yes, you're right. Okay.
what?
I'll teach them.
What the hell are you mumbling about? You're giving me the goddamn willies!
It's full of doubts. Nothing is clear at all.
Another Truth Blade one.
Angie was attacked in the empty room first, and then carried into the research lab? Impossible! Impossible! That's nothing but a delusion! You intend to poison our minds with your delusions?
It's no delusion. Angie's 2 external wounds tell the story. After she was struck in the empty room, she was carried to the art research lab and then killed.
You say the culprit carried Angie's body? And not a single drop of blood fell? The hallway and empty room had no blood stains.
Dang it. I messed up.
Oh no!
But I'm sure it's the
You say
duct
the
tape.
culprit carried Angie's body? And not a single drop of blood fell? The hallway and empty room had no blood stains. Even if you wipe them down later, there'd still be traces of evidence left behind. But there was no evidence anywhere, was there, Shuichi?
There we go.
I'll cut through your words. There was evidence left at the scene.
What?
It was wrapped around her head to stop the bleeding while she was being carried.
Bloody tape?
It was under the body. But since it was hidden,
It
Yep.
must have fallen as the fatal blow was dealt.
Must have been.
What? A tube?
now we know most of the mystery.
I'm convinced there's only
one person who could have. We already know it's this person.
It has to be you.
This is the person that's
It's
panicking
you,
over the
Kyo.
whole thing.
What the fuck? So it
Well, that was obvious.
I'm actually with Kokichi on this one.
why did
That was
In
a
terms
bit.
of pure logic, only one victim.
Why?
I think one of the murders was an accident.
An accident?
That's right. It,
Huh?
Which one? I mean,
that's it.
ironically enough, it was Angie.
Angie's murder was an accident.
What?
That's right. Kyo originally, but while he was making preparations in the empty room, so he decided to kill her.
Yep.
She just happened to walk in on the culprit.
Then he should have killed Angie.
You only needed to kill one for this game. If you get bonus points for killing more, then sure. Up.
Why, Kyo?
What? No. So. Why? Why?
Calm yourself, Korekio.
Yes.
What?
You mustn't raise your voice. You mustn't lose composure. Look at their horrid faces. You're right.
There he goes again. What?
It almost seems like someone. He's
I will never acknowledge your allegation. For you see, there is no... I will only acknowledge fact. I won't acknowledge...
Well
Oh,
said.
jeez.
Yes, thanks.
You're wrong.
There is evidence.
What? The weapon that was used to knock Angie on... That weapon tells us the...
Apologize.
Seriously?
It was the loose board.
I have nothing to admit. You are simply wrong.
I'm not the culprit.
So I have nothing to confess.
Oops.
I have nothing to admit. You are simply wrong.
I pressed that.
I'm
Wow, okay, it's not catching all
So
my...
I have nothing to confess.
It's not catching all my keyboard clicks.
Why must you force your delusions on us?
your logic. That's merely a delusion.
Well said, Correcchio. To continue this debate is meaningless. Why must you force your delusions on us?
Your logic. That's merely a delusion.
Well said, Correcchio. To continue this debate is meaningless.
Oh boy.
I told you I am not the culprit. So why are you looking at me like that? You're all wrong, not me.
Correcchio speaks the truth. Such a sorry lot.
Apologize. Apologize. Apologize.
Apologize.
I told you I am not the culprit. So why are you looking at me like that? You're all wrong, not me.
Correcchio speaks the truth. Such a sorry lot.
Apologize. Apologize. Apologize.
Oops.
Apologize.
I told you I am not the culprit. So why are you looking at me like that? You're all wrong, not me.
Correcchio speaks the truth. Such a sorry lot.
Oh my gosh.
You have no proof that Correcchio is the killer.
Oh, shoot! I swapped the
I
one.
told you I am not the culprit. So why are you looking at me like that? You're all wrong, not me.
Correcchio speaks the truth. You have no proof that Correcchio is the
Floor
killer.
board. There we go.
It ends
I accidentally
here.
swapped floor and board. Okay.
Keo hit Angie with the same floorboard used in the seesaw trick.
I see.
There was a small patch of dried Angie's blood? Blood that
Yep.
spattered there. But that's not the only evidence.
Blood under the floorboards.
There's also the blood stain up the floorboard must not have been a good point.
Have the floorboard been in place?
Yep.
Keo's earlier confession is further evidence.
How?
If the weapon used to hit Angie is the floor.
It means the culprit knew about the seesaw.
Okay.
I believe that while Keo was setting up the when Angie
and he cold cocked her with a.
All you can do now is accept it.
That's true.
Looks like we're almost at the end. All right, Shuichi. I'll...
Shuichi. For Angie and Tenko's sake.
I understand. I'll go over everything one more
I mean,
time.
I feel bad, slightly bad for Himiko, but I really didn't like either of those characters, so I don't. So I'm more doing this for the sake of finishing this. Closing argument. Here we go. Okay, let's go with hit the sliding lock. That's up here. Okay. Just the duct tape. No, I want to go this way. Yep. And that one.
This is the
Alrighty, this is the end of the trial.
Let's look back at it was late last night. The culprit was preparing the seance murder they had
Yep.
to use the floorboard as a seesaw. The plan was to make the same preparations for all. This would divert suspicion away from the culprit. To cut the cross pieces, they were planning to cut the cross.
All 3 rooms.
However, when the culprit
In the middle room.
Angie walked into that room, she needed some fire for the room. At that point, the culprit had. Angie might not have concluded that it was tied, but now that Angie had seen, any other person might have just given up. The culprit took the floorboard.
Yep.
The culprit did not want to give up on their plan. They wrapped duct tape around Angie. Then they picked up her unconscious body. While she was unconscious, the culprit. But because they were in a hurry, they didn't notice the duct tape had without that evidence, we may never.
Yep. We're just going through.
Carrying the supplies they needed.
Turn to it. Lock the
Locked the
door.
front door. And took out the katana they brought. They then stabbed Angie in the.
Yep.
Then, to further confuse her, first, they used. There were 2 reasons to overwhelm the room with an occult atmosphere, and the other was the
Key to locking the room.
The culprit stuck the katana into Kaede's effigy near the.
Probably would have been better for them if it had actually
And
fallen out
spun the
from the
effigy
effigy in the
around to
process, but it didn't, so.
After enough turns, once released, the handle of the katana then a difficult trick. But remember, the culprit also would have had the
Yep.
Once complete, the door was. Perhaps the culprit noticed it, but the room was sealed. There was.
Yeah, the culprit almost didn't, certainly didn't. He didn't notice it because He was
Then,
elsewhere.
this morning, we
Right? Otherwise, he probably would have. He might have removed. Otherwise, I doubt he would have removed it. Wouldn't have gotten to that point.
but the culprit wasn't finished.
They wanted to go through with their murder for some reason.
To do that, they of the three
Ironically
empty
enough,
the
because he
middle
was
one chosen for the seance.
so determined to do his,
I was invited by Kokichi.
he basically ensured that he would be caught.
Tenko volunteered to be the medium, but she never to perform the seance. The culprit, a small stone that Himiko had brought from the Tenko at the culprit's that position was instrumental. Next, Kokichi, the culprit, then volunteered to drape. We didn't realize it at the time. They needed to set up the murder weapon. While they were covering the cage with a... Finally, the culprit used the weight of the step.
Yep.
After the preparations were complete, in complete darkness, we each stood.
Also, the fact that
When the song finished, the soul of the dead was supposed to, but our culprit had another.
the fact that he was consistently saying why did the seance
Right
fail? Da,
after
da,
he
da, da,
started
da.
singing, the it
I
would have been
well,
quite
probably was
difficult
also
to do in
pushing
total
towards
darkness, but they
Making
used
it
the
seem like
lines
it,
of
it
the
also made
magic
it less
circle
like seem
drawn
less
with
likely that
salt.
he was going to be accused of it.
The culprit felt for the salt and used it to guide them. And when the culprit reached the... They found the floorboard that had its crosspiece cut off. Then lifted up their foot. The floorboard lifted up and pushed Tenko's body up toward the ceiling of the cage. Tenko was stabbed in the back of the neck by this. She was killed right before our eyes.
Some people didn't manage to guess it was Kokichi because it was too obvious.
After
They
committing
expected the
crime,
game to trick.
the culprit
Yeah,
held the
I
salt
suppose
back
that's
in
a
the corner.
good thing in a way. The fact that that it was able to turn around and say, Korekio. Why did I pronounce Kokichi? Korekio. Yeah. I mean, it kind of did turn the whole choosing who was so obvious.
Finished the ritual, and we followed the culprit's directions and removed the equipment.
Kind of made it very. Yeah, words.
And discovered.
It's almost never the obvious culprit. The few times it's the obvious culprit is usually whenever it's a tutorial, and even then, sometimes it'll throw in a twist. The fact that they made the obvious that it was the obvious culprit, I was kind of brave. So I think it fell flat in this time.
And while we were all focused, and dropped it under the floor.
Because it made it so obvious that they were the only one in this case.
Ironically,
And then
the final step of the murder was unwittingly carried out by us.
To be fair, I probably wouldn't have guessed it was him who murdered Angie either, except for pulling out the dried blood bit. Again, that's the bit that connects both the murders. I actually would have guessed that he killed Tenko and not Angie, because they made sure to emphasize, if there's two blackened, only the first one can graduate.
The culprit had planned the murder so that he would unintentionally destroy some evidence. That evidence was the However, the culprit, he really saved us. But now we know for certain.
Here we go.
Korekio Shinguchi, the ultimate anthropo... That's where my detective work leads us.
Sweet Korekio. Admit?
unfortunately. Yes. My one regret was not being able to make 100 friends.
100.
Oh, it's so unfortunate!
What are you...
Who gives a fuck?
Roger that!
The heart racing excitement as
The heart racing has a blackened and a spotless. It's voting time!
Well, we all know who it is. And
Now then, it seems
okay. And the voting is everyone. He voted for himself.
who'll be chosen as the black.
Okay. All right. And now we wrap this up. Yeah, the last review got me. But yeah, holy crap, how many... Yeah. Well,
Wow! Absolutely all right.
it wouldn't
For
last
now.
that long.
No.
Why did they
Right.
kill... Well, Angie, at least we know was a motive because it was like she saw something and he would have been caught for sure.
Hey!
Shut up!
Nothing to do with it.
What?
Yeah?
Yes. There is. I love her with all my heart. And she loves me with all her heart. Yes. We vowed an endless love to each other,
Okay.
forever bound by fate. None can come between us. We are bound by an intense love.
Hey.
No matter what.
What?
Don't tell me.
Wonderful.
Wait!
Yeah.
Curse Bloosh!
Hey!
Hey,
You see, sister.
What did I now?
Wait!
Right?
Wait!
Whatever is the matter? I loved her.
No.
so
I love it up at the top right. No physical connection.
The fact that we were siblings meant they called it forbidden love. But no. Oh, how I. The only time I felt. For my beloved sister.
Always messing around.
No. Huh? Sister.
The child.
However. Huh?
Deceased.
Understand. For my beloved sister.
Huh? Incomprehensible.
Sister.
yes.
What?
I am Korekio's older sister.
What?
Yes. I am pleased. Sister.
Korekio.
Are you serious?
I told you.
Ew.
Well, now.
What was that?
Learning crazy before he got here.
Unacceptable.
Some bloodthirsty, indiscriminate killer.
Huh?
Only girls?
Wonderful.
Besides Maki and Miyu. Oh, wow.
Eh? Why you?
Then...
Oh, jeez.
Excellent. Wonderful.
Huh? But
How did you...
Ah, beautiful. Well,
No way!
Oh, jeez.
let's see. For my beloved sister.
are you okay?
Kind of pale.
However,
Angie walked in on her and ended up killing her a different way.
What is that?
You figured it would be a waste.
Correcchio. Oh dear.
Why? But how?
Do not worry. That's right. Sister.
What was that?
Well...
His death is unfair.
And another thing.
Maybe.
Well, killing game embodies that philosophy, right?
Shut up! You got me!
So then. Sister. Correcchio.
Oh. It's punishment time!
And here we go.
Sister. That's right.
What?
Therefore, from an anthropological point of view,
I didn't think so many different cultures have funeral rites.
yes.
How do you come to terms with death also determines how you live?
What was that?
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment.
I shall observe. That's right. Humanity is beautiful.
It's punishment time!
Here we go. Let's see how this one goes. Guilty. Time for punishment. Cultural melting pot? So, at the moment, he's being boiled alive. Oh, jeez. That's... Oh my gosh. I need to wait. Say what now? Okay, I don't know how much to believe on that second part happening, but the boiled alive part was.
How can this? Yay! That's right.
Hey.
Eh?
Well now.
Oh, jeez.
Wow, wow, wow.
I told you. What's the point?
Eh? Oh yeah. So long. Farewell.
Always messing around. Of course!
But
You're right.
Going to do his best.
That's his entomology. Yep.
You're right.
Okay, that's right.
For the effort so everyone can trust me.
Got a minute?
Oh.
Right. 9 people left now.
actually,
But... Well,
9 of us.
How rude! But you know, I believe in you.
okay. Well, of course.
Hey, start over.
How exciting! No way!
You all right?
Hey,
Let her have some space. It might be best
Okay.
for her.
Oh.
you're so dumb.
Huh?
Because I'm a liar. But...
right?
Nuh-uh. Because...
Find yourself at her own feelings.
Hey.
Oh.
Damn it.
Also, Kokichi was the one who pushed that back, pushed that to happen again. But the way he phrased it, that was... Yeah. Bottling up your emotions never works. It really, really doesn't. I'm not saying that just from, I'm saying that from experience. Not probably not as intense as losing someone like that. But gosh dang it, gosh dang it, it's not helpful at all. I feel really bad for her.
Is she hard to carry, Gonta?
No, she fine.
She's sleeping very peacefully.
She's all tuckered out after crying. Robots sleep well after leaking their oils too, right?
I have told you many times that I do not use oil as my fuel source.
But wow, that really surprised me. She passed out as soon as she stopped crying.
Yeah, but she looks so peaceful sleeping like that.
She probably felt better after letting it all out, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope so.
Then Gonta carry Himiko to her room.
Make sure you focus real good on your back, you hear me? You'll need that focus if you want to feel her.
There's no way he'd do such a thing. Gonta is a gentleman after all.
Kaito stopped. What's wrong?
Huh?
Well,
Anything? You should have said so earlier.
But
Got it.
okay,
Yeah, sounds like you're bragging.
okay.
Got it.
Turn to the dorm room. Oh, jeez, he is sick.
Damn it. I don't have time to be dying. I still haven't gone into space yet. Damn it. No way am I gonna die here. No way.
Oh, Kaito, dang it! Dang it! Nine people left. Serious mask. And we're gonna go ahead and stop there, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed the episode, and we'll be back next time with the beginning of Chapter 4 and dealing with the aftermath of this case and seeing how everyone reacts to this, and probably trying to find out what exactly is happening with Kaito. So, until next time, everybody. See you all later. Bye-bye.